Somebody asked a question. Said, did Jesus go to school? Well, there are two schools of thoughts to that. There is a school of thought that believes that Jesus did not go to school. They believe that there were no schools. There were no formal schools in those times. But I belong to the school of thought that believe that Jesus was educated. In Luke chapter 2, when you read verse 46, the Bible said Jesus was in the temple, in the midst of doctors, PhD holders. He was in their midst. The Bible said he was learning and also asking questions. I believe that Jesus was educated. In Luke chapter 4, verse 16, the Bible said when he came to Nazareth, he entered into the synagogue as his custom was, and he stood up to read. So he could read. In John chapter 8, when the woman was caught in adultery and was brought to him, the Bible said that in verse 6, he wrote on the floor. So I believe that Jesus could read. Jesus could write. In Mark chapter 6, the Bible said when he went to his own country and he was teaching in the synagogue, they were wondering what kind of wisdom is this. I believe that Jesus was educated. In fact, both formal and informal education. Of course, his father was a carpenter. And one of their policies in those days is that when you give birth to a son, you must train the son in a particular trade, or else you are raising an armed robber. So I believe that Jesus also learned a trade. In Matthew chapter 13, verse 55, they said, is this not the carpenter's son? The same account in Mark chapter 6, verse 3, Mark said, is this not the carpenter? Not the carpenter's son. Is this not the carpenter? Now, the word that was translated carpenter there is the word tekton. Tekton means craftsman. That's the Greek word where the word technology comes from. Tech, craft, logi or logos, knowledge. Knowledge of a particular craft. So the reason they interpreted it as carpenter is because they know that it was Joseph that trained him, and Joseph was a carpenter, of course. And Joseph would train him as a carpenter. People have been studying about the life of Jesus between age 12 and 30. Where was he? The Bible told us when he was 12 years. Then later we heard about his ministry when he was 30. What happened? Jesus graduated in carpentry. So he was educated, he was schooled, and he was also an apprentice.